Hi, this is Vicky Ward back with another video tutorial at last, and what I wanted to share with you today is a label that I've come up with that uses the Martha Stewart punches. I've been asked recently to make some Christmas cards for the head teacher of the school that I teach at, and one of the things that she particularly wanted was to be able to have the greetings on them personalised for each of the recipients. And obviously this meant that I wasn't able to use any of my normal stamps, but would need to print things out on the computer. And I realised as I was printing them that I wanted to have some nice labels that went behind to make the greetings stand out. And I don't have any of the nice spellbinders ones or anything like that, so I thought, well, what can I use that will coordinate with the cards that I'm making and have the same sort of feel as the fancy label dies that you can get from spellbinders. I'd already used the Martha Stewart border punch on this particular card, so thought I would see if I could use the corner punch to come up with something that I could use as my label. So what I ended up doing was cutting a strip of paper, and here I'll use some black so hopefully it's a little bit easier to see. And this particular strip measures just under 3/4 of an inch. It's about 11/16, but it's kind of halfway between the 5/8 and the 3/4 inch, and this is exactly the right width to get the sort of detail on the end that I need. So turning the punch over, insert the paper centrally just down to where the point of this piece of ironwork is, and trying to get it exactly in the middle, and then punching it out. And as you can see here, these little bits aren't particularly attractive, so using a pair of scissors I just rounded them off on both sides just to make it fit a little bit better. I think I've cut that one a little bit tight there. Okay, so that makes one of the ends. I then worked out if I put my label in the middle, my greeting, and I printed it out. The one that I used was using a font called Apple Chancery and size 16, and that has the nice sort of Christmas handwritten feel to it, but obviously you could use whatever font you wanted to. And this particular piece of paper is cut at 1/2 inch wide. I then stuck it on and then measured an additional 7/8 of an inch past where that label finished, so that I could then do the other end. So if you imagine it's here and I've measured my 7/8, then you repeat exactly the same thing on the other side. Like so, and again trimming off those extra little bits just so that it looks a bit neater. And there we have a very nice fancy label that could be any size at all that you wanted to long. The other punch that I've also used, I had a go with the one of the other Martha Stewart punches, and worked out that I can use this one as well. Again, cutting the strip first, punching one end, rounding off these little pieces here, and this particular strip is cut at 3/4 inch wide, and you need an extra piece that's just under 3/4 inches at the end when you've put your label onto it. Hopefully you might be able to use this technique. Perhaps stop off at my blog, vickyward.blogspot.com, where hopefully I'll post some of the photos of my finished cards. Thanks for watching. Bye!